Namandos, namandos, namandos. Morning, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in today to our August 2021 Watsonville Shotsuki Hoyo service. I'd like to begin today's service with an opening reading. If you'll please open up your butsudans, light a candle, and then join me in Gasho. Thus, when one has boarded the ship of the bow of great compassion and sailed out on the vast ocean of light, the winds of perfect virtue blow softly, and the waves of evil are transformed. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. At this time, we will begin the sutra chanting of the Sambujo, followed by the Hyobyakumon, and then the Sambutsuge and the Jusei. And during the chanting of the Sambutsuge and the Jusei, you'll see the family names of those who we are observing Shotsuki for the month of August. And when you see your family name, please go to your butsudan and burn incense. Namandos, namandos, namandos. on this occasion of the Watsonville Buddhist Temple August Shotsuki Hoyo service. Members of the Sangha have heard me come before me, the Buddha, in memory of their beloved family members. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kia Boots, Namo Kia Ho, Namo Kia Soul, Namo Sammo Sammo.
어르 제보 가이몬 쇼진 산마이 지혜 기도금을요 주쇼게 우진 다이센넨 저부츠 호가이 의진진노 의공아이 다이워며 여그는 세선여문인노 시시진도금을요 그근거 나의 지혜 진묘 검려 이서 신도 나의 생강아 사우 사이쇼호가 도셔지 미북에 다트브세 저위 가이는 저진 요새 산마이 지혜 이저거세 도그무트 불교 시간 이사이 그그 이사나야 예시의부트야 그센너 그만 머리어다이셔 슌여거자 그여 이사이 지도셔부트 분여그도 겐셔부격 인여거자 쇼부세가이 그가게 무슈세트도 검여 시셔 엔시셔 그근여세 쇼진 이진 안려려가 사부트 거부도 다이 워시기며 노저저세트 거근여 나이언 리노도서 바도 아이면도 다츠이 사이제포라이셔 신라트셔저 이도가 거북해라크완노 거부신여세가 신셔 오츠간노 히리키쇼쇼역 제포세선 지혜무게저려 시선 지가 신겨 계려 신시 쇼그노그츠 악여 쇼진 인제 흑해 나만다 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 나만다스 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 나만다스
And now please. And now please join me in the Gatha Nori no Miyama. Nori no Miyama Sakura Bana Mukashi no mama ni Onmyou nari Michi no shiori no hato tomete Satori no takane no haru o miyou Mori no Miyama no Todogisu Mukashi no mama ni Manoru nani Ukiyo wa yume zo mijikayo to Odoroki samasu oe o kuken The threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we're living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we together with all sentient beings awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we together with all sentient beings enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we together with all sentient beings become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Sankhyamu, Ninjin Kegatashi, Ima Sudani Yuku, Upo Kikigatashi, Ima Sudani Kiku, Kono Mikonjo ni Mukate Dose Zumba, Sarani Izure no Shou ni Mukateka, Kono Mi wo Dosen. Daishu Murotomo ni Shishin ni Sambo ni Kiyeshi Tatematsuru Yoshi. Mizukara Butsu ni Kiyeshi Tatematsuru. Masani Negawaku wa Shijo to Tomo ni Daido wo Taige shite Gyoyoko san. Mizukara ho ni Kiyeshi Tatematsuru. Masani Negawaku wa Shijo to Tomo ni Kaku Kyozo ni irite chie umi no kotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku wa shijo to tomo ni. Daishu wo tori shite isai muge naran. Ujo jinjin yo no ho wa yaku sen mango ni mo ayo kotokatashi. Orima kenmon shi yuji suru koto wa etari. Negawaku wa rai no shinjutsu gi o geshi tatematsuran. Nambandamas. Let me turn on these lights here. Once again, good morning, everyone. And thank you for tuning in and being patient with our technical issues that we have to work with as we record today's service. This month, we are once again gathering for our August Shotsuki Hoyo Memorial Service this month. And also, as you saw on the screen, this commemorates the memorial or the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And we continue to remember landmark events in our life or in this world, including the death of a parent, husband, father, mother, wife, or the family members. Now, we often say that we all share in the sadness and the grief that family experiences when they lose someone. And we say that this is a shared experience. And this is very, very true. When we think about the millions of lives lost through COVID around the world, when we think about the thousands and thousands of lives lost during the many wars over the years, and today especially we remember those who were killed in the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And when we remember them, we are reminded that the experience and the pain of loss is experienced by everyone in this world. Whenever we gather and we have a funeral service or memorial service, we remind families that your loved ones have crossed over to the other shore of the pure land of enlightenment. When they do so, they leave behind this world of ignorance, this world of suffering. And for us, you and I who are left behind, there may be the feeling that there is a large gap, there's a great distance, a vast ocean that separates us from this world and the world of the pure land, and the world of the light. This Onaijin behind me represents that pure land. And it's not far away. It is right here in the same room. That large gap, that vast ocean, seems very large, and it seems difficult, or it seems that we cannot cross over into that world of enlightenment. In my youth, one of my favorite books was called Kon-Tiki, Across the Pacific in a Raft. And I don't know how many of you know this story, but it's a story of a man by the name of Thor Heyerdahl, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who set out to prove that natives from Peru had sailed across the Pacific Ocean to the Polynesian islands. And they did so on a simple raft. This was centuries ago, pre-Columbian times. So Thor Heyerdahl and his crew built a raft out of balsa wood and other native materials to build a replica of the raft that was used to sail across the Pacific. The journey was quite amazing. It was full of danger. And trying to emulate the ancient mariners, they did not treat the ocean lightly. They treated it with respect. They knew that it was full of hazards. They, like all sailors, respected the ocean for all that it holds. So as we all know, the ocean is full of beauty and full of danger. The story of Thor Heyerdahl and his crew that sailed the Pacific ends with them actually not quite reaching their goal, but crossing the Pacific and eventually landing on an island that they thought was deserted. Once they landed there, several days later, natives on that island came and welcomed them, embraced them, and took care of them and literally saved them. So what's important in the story to me is the ocean and how the ocean is used as a metaphor in Buddhism. The ocean has been used often to describe several things. One, it has been used to refer to the enlightened world of samsara. It is mentioned as the ocean of painful birth and death, of insatiable desires of human suffering, of deluded passions and karmic bondage. It is the ocean that's so very difficult to cross. And of course, what this means is difficult to rid ourselves of these karmic bonds, of the deluded passions, of the sufferings that we have. And it is this great ocean that lies between us and the Pure Land. I recall, I wasn't sure if it was a minister or someone who said to me that trying to stop the ocean is like, or trying to stop change is like trying to stop the ocean. You just can't do it. And just like that, we cannot stop the motion of the waves in the ocean. We cannot stop the suffering that we experience in this life. The purpose of Buddhism is to help us reach the other shore of enlightenment, the Pure Land. In this above quote, Shinran is referring to the 18th vow of the Buddha. We may be fearful of the ocean and the waves that crash onto the shore. But we need to ask ourselves, what is there to fear on this shore? Am I safe here? When we talk about safety here, we are not talking about personal physical safety, but safe from mental illusions that haunt our minds, the fear of death, the misunderstandings of life as it unfolds, our judgments of life as fair or unfair, good and bad, right and wrong. All of this causes the suffering we experience in our life. And that's why Shinran was so eloquent in talking about this. He says once again, I want to share the quote. Thus, when one has boarded the ship of the vow of great compassion and sailed out on the vast ocean of light, the winds of perfect virtue blow softly, and the waves of evil are transformed. So when we board the great ship, Shinran is talking about the 18th vow, the vow of Nembutsu, the vow that embraces all of us, just as we are. Our safe arrival on the other shore of enlightenment is assured. It's already been determined. No storm, no great wave or unforeseen dangers can obstruct the promise of our enlightenment. So how do we board this ship of the vow? Well, in a very real way, we're already on board. The vow has already been fulfilled. All we have to do is ride the ship to the other shore. This is why Shinran says, the winds of perfect virtue, that is the Buddha's perfect virtue, enlightenment, blow softly, and the waves of evil are transformed. Our selfishness, our greed, our anger is transformed, and they are transformed into peace of mind and serenity. What else can we do but recite the members? Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Now, if you please join me in the Gatha Ondok-san 2. Nightingales on the Dharma mountain sing the praises of the name as of old. Listen to their voices warning us that this life is but a dream and that night is very short. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, everyone. This will conclude our service for today. A few announcements. Next week will be the Monterey Shotsuki Hoyo service that will be also streaming on YouTube. The following week, the Salinas Buddhist Temple Shotsuki Hoyo. The last 2 weeks of August, there will not be services. So our next Watsonville service will be the Shotsuki Hoyo the Sunday after Labor Day. Please take care, be well, be kind to each other, and thank you again for attending today's service. Namandavas, 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 namandavas.